Welcome, everyone, to this episode of Unavoidable, Adventures in Aging, where Sue and Shan, two Midwest, well-past middle-aged sisters, discuss the good, the bad, and the ugly of aging. With a little humor, a little heart, and occasionally a little frustration, we'll explore the unavoidable adventures we experience as we move into our golden years. Yeah, golden years, my ass. Just a note to our listeners, this podcast reflects the opinions and experiences of Sue and Shan. The main purpose of this podcast is intended to entertain. We are ready, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're going.
We're going.
Okay, today we are, first of all, any unfinished business?
How would we even remember?
I have no idea.
So we had Shelley on for two weeks.
Right.
And so that was fun. I
It
enjoyed
was.
that.
I think, and she did such a good job.
She did.
And she is going to take over our, yes, and
Like
she
our
has some really good ideas.
Website and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, I need
Yeah.
to get her all of our passwords.
Yes.
There we go. Good. Oh,
So,
that's good news.
She just has some really cute ideas for that.
Oh, good. Good.
So now we've got you and me and Tim as our
Husband?
husband.
Our
right?
husband.
Who
And
is,
What we gave him a title one time, didn't we?
Was it assistant producer, director?
Oh, I love that.
Assistant producer.
Yeah, producer.
Okay, I think that's good.
So
Yeah.
Shelley's going to become our media
Yes,
specialist.
Of course. I think that works.
That's perfect.
Yep. So
Oh, good.
Anyway, so we had those 2 weeks with Shelley, and then I was gone in Vegas for a week with Shelley, and we'll
Yeah.
talk more about that next week.
Yeah.
Not the time in Vegas, but the
The
time
traveling,
coming home.
trying
Right.
to get home.
So we're just jumping back into this, and it always feels weird to do
It
one
does. Yeah.
after we haven't for a while.
Yeah.
But
And it has been months since we had a really regular schedule.
that is true.
I don't know if winter created a real regular schedule for
think
us,
so.
and then I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
but hopefully.
And one thing that I think both you and Tim said when you retired, one of the things you wanted to do was feel free enough to travel.
Yeah.
To go see the kids when you wanted to, and that's exactly what you've been able to do.
Yes.
And we work around that because we're that good.
We are that good. We are that good.
Yeah.
And we never wanted our podcast to be a burden to us.
That's right.
It's still just
Yes.
it's a blast.
It is. It
Frickin'
is
blast.
so much fun. And what else was I going to say? I don't know. But hey,
It was probably important though.
I think it was. We're not going to sit here and wonder for the next half
you
hour.
You started with unfinished business, which
Yes.
if we haven't written it down,
Yeah.
we don't know.
I don't think we need to go there.
No, but should we unfinished business? A few weeks ago, we did Chat GPT.
Yes, we did.
So tell me about your trip out there, though. Should we do that now?
No, I want to save that for
You're
when
gonna
we
save
talk
it.
about the trip as a whole.
Okay, then I'll
Yes.
just ask what I
Yeah,
just.
because there's a couple things I found out with
Oh,
that.
okay.
Yeah. Okay, now I'm lost again. So what we're going to work on today
Yes.
we're going to bring back one that we've already done, part two.
Part
I
two.
guess.
It is part
Unless
two.
it could be part three, or
I'll look that up.
I get lost on how many times
Two
we've done
or
some of
three?
these. Two or
Okay.
three. Could be 8. I don't know. And this has been weeks ago. And we talked about how jobs have changed over the years. And we had just started on this list, one of my famous lists that I copy right off the internet, of just jobs that don't even exist anymore. And just a refresher, we talked about knocker-uppers. And that was, knocker-uppers were people who were responsible for waking people up by making loud noises before electronic alarm clocks existed.
Yeah.
So they were like your alarm clock or your
clock.
wake-up call.
And I remember saying, did knocker-uppers have knocker-uppers to get them up so they could go out and knocker-upper everybody out of bed?
And that would be never-ending, wouldn't it?
It would.
Maybe these knocker-uppers just never go to bed.
Oh, that could be.
That could be. Yeah. They're kind of like a night shift today.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
They are.
And I'm sure there have always been people that work better
At night.
at night.
Yeah.
So I'm not one of them.
Same here.
Okay. I don't think we got to this one, but the next one on my list is Hush Shopkeeper.
Hush shopkeeper.
Yeah.
Okay, I got an idea of what that might be.
What do you think it might be?
At one point, I can remember it had a different title, but it was a person that went into a retail store roamed around, asked for help, bought some items, and then that person would rate the store. Now, I can't remember if the store was the one that paid the person or if it was your Chamber of Commerce. I don't really know.
Yeah.
But it was a way of checking out how the store and the people were doing.
Yeah. And I think there might still be a little bit of that today called secret shoppers.
Secret shoppers.
Yeah.
That was it. Yeah.
And that's exactly what they did.
Uh-huh.
And the same thing, I don't know if they were paid for. I would think they'd be paid for by the store because then the store benefits from their input.
I would think so.
And they can go yell at their employees because they aren't helpful
Did
enough
well,
and stuff.
didn't do well, or whatever.
Yeah. Okay, this is the original, maybe, hush shopkeeper during Prohibition.
Oh.
In the United States, when it was illegal to buy, sell, or consume alcohol, a hush shopkeeper sold alcohol discreetly to customers they trusted.
Oh.
They got their name from keeping their illegal business secret. While people earned money as shopkeepers, their position was non-compliant with federal law.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
So they
whole different title.
Oh, yes.
Whole different
yes,
thing. Okay.
Yes, I think secret shoppers, very much legal.
Yeah.
As shopkeepers, not so much.
Not so much.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
An alchemist.
Alchemist. An alchemist. In my head, I'm thinking, okay, an alchemist. But they weren't an alchemist. Ooh, I'm struggling with this one because all I can think of is a pharmacist, and I know that's not what.
And I think that's pretty much what it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I think even when I watch my Midsummer Murders, the person who is the pharmacist is just called the chemist, and so an alchemist in ancient eras, an alchemist was a philosopher who tried to convert chemicals into gold.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Oh, how funny.
People considered them magical as they usually tried to make special elixirs to treat diseases or grant immortality.
Oh, shoot.
So I think pharmacists, that's their basis. This
Yes,
is the
it is.
basis
Right.
for what they do. But yeah, and I remember there was that whole thing about trying to turn things into gold.
I'll be
And
darned.
they thought chemically they could do that.
They could do it.
And it never happened.
Darn it.
If we could turn wine into gold,
We'd still be
would
drinking
rid-
wine.
Yeah, we would. Because we wouldn't want to waste it, would we?
We need to turn water into gold.
There you go.
Wine stays wine.
Wine stays wine. That's fair. A gandy dancer.
A gandy dancer. Oh, a gandy, I think it's railroad.
You're right.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Because there were gandy crews that went out and built, I think they built the actual lines.
Yes.
The rail. Oh,
You're
look at
good.
me.
They set the ties. They hammered
Yeah.
the spikes. They replaced rails.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's what a gandy
And of course,
dancer
around
was.
here, because we have Burlington Northern Santa Fe.
That's right.
But I kind of spit that one out,
No.
didn't I? Burlington Northern Santa Fe Railroad.
Yes.
And not so much now, but when early 70s, mid 70s, whatever it was, that's when they were adding so much track. And their gandy gangs is what they were
Gandy
called.
gangs.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they went out and that's what they did was
Yeah.
lay the ties.
And
Yeah.
it seems like the really early ones were from China.
Yes.
And
When they did the one
Yes.
cross-continental.
Yes, Transcontinental Railroad. And they
Railroad.
drove the Golden Spike.
Yes,
and all of
exactly.
that.
When it hooked up from
Yeah.
east to west or whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
There you
well,
go.
There's one that we knew because of our
But
location.
but when they say, I suppose they aren't there anymore.
What?
Because these are obsolete jobs, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see.
Of course, now they have machines that do everything.
Exactly.
They're not going to have guys out there hammering
Yes.
with big sledgehammers.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. It's a machine that
Yeah.
places them and
Yep.
pounds a stake in. You might have a person that's running that part, but they don't do it by hand.
When we talk about AI and how it is taking jobs, any kind of technology, machinery, it's happened all along.
It has. Yeah, different things that take. Yeah.
Shouldn't be too. Did we talk about radio actors?
No, radio actors.
Radio actors.
Uh-uh.
They used to, that was there before TV. They had all the radio
sure.
programs.
Yeah.
And they were actors.
And you worked as an actor on the radio.
Yeah.
Oh,
You'd
sure.
read the script, and they would do all the little sound effects. And
Yeah, because you always had one person that was just running those sound effects.
Yes.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah.
That kind
and
of thing.
like the footsteps where it was like a
yeah.
box of rocks or sand, and they would take a shoe and go, whoosh, however
Opening
that
and
was.
closing a door.
Yes.
Funny.
Years ago, when it was after I came back, I was in the Main Street Players, and it was a community theater. And after I'd been gone and moved back, they did, I think it was It's a Wonderful Life.
Okay.
And there was one person. It was a complete radio play.
Oh, cool.
And when we did it for the public, but we had microphones, and you would step up to the microphone and read your part. And then there was another person who did a train whistle and clocks ticking. And so it was pretty good.
Fun.
They did a pretty good
we're
job
working
with
on
it.
trying to get 4 microphones in
Yes,
our
we are.
system. We could do some kind of a
some person.
radio.
That whirly whistle, whatever that was.
Or we'd have a script. We could each have a script. And we could, oh, gosh, we could do that.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe.
Okay, another one, a film projectionist.
Sure.
When you went to the movie,
Theater.
To the theater?
Yeah, when I was in high school.
Yes.
That was a pretty common job to have. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah.
I heard
and-
stories about you
Yeah,
and
I know.
Shelley in the film
Yeah.
projection room with whoever was
yeah,
running it.
Yeah. It was the fact that you could go up the outside of the building
Yes.
on the alley. And then you'd get up on this lower roof, and then that lower roof, you could climb up to a taller roof, and then you could go in the window of the projection room, and you stood there for a little while, and then you just went down and watched
and
the
watch
movie.
the movie, yeah.
Boy, we'd do anything to save a buck,
I
wouldn't we?
know. Yep.
Sneaking into the drive-in, sneaking
your-
into the theater.
Yes.
Yeah,
Taking
it had
your
nothing
life
to do with
into your-
money, did it? It
No,
had to
it
do with,
didn't.
Yeah,
Just the adventure of it all.
the adventure. Yeah.
And I guess I don't even know, how do they run movies these days? Is it all?
Yeah, I think it's all digital.
Computerized?
Yeah,
Yeah.
computerized. Yes,
Yeah.
because I can remember too. These were huge reels.
Yes.
and they'd have to do a reel
Several.
change. There were 2 projectors up there, and you'd run the one projector, and then boy, right at the right time, you had to turn the other one on,
Yeah.
and then turn the other one down, take the film off, put another roll on there. I don't know how many reels were in a movie, and also like the commercials and previews and stuff. That was on a reel by itself.
Yes.
So you'd have to run that. Yeah.
Oh, my golly. Yeah, I was never actually in the projectionist booth, but
Yeah. Yeah.
there was a Columbo episode that was that showed how they do that.
Okay, Midsummer Night's Murder, Columbo. So
Are we
by the
seeing
time we're
the
done,
theme?
you're going to see what Sue watches.
What I watch and what I read.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There
the
you
last
go.
couple nights it's been Agatha Raisin.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I went through all of hers, and
Yes.
then I saw that there's new ones coming out. So she
Yes.
passed away. The author
The
passed
author
away.
did, yeah.
And then MC Beaton is the author, and then somebody else was allowed by her to keep writing. So I need to look those up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
'Cause
I
they're-
enjoyed those.
Yeah. And there's a TV show now too.
There
on,
is?
on BritBox. But it doesn't match
Oh.
because who I see as Agatha Raisin in the book, in the audiobooks, is a little bit older. And the one in the TV show, she's blonde and she's younger. And
Oh, yeah,
You
because
know.
Agatha Raisin, she's a pushy old thing.
yeah, she is. Yeah.
And so I did see her as older, not
Yeah.
old, but
Not
older.
old. Yeah. But anyway,
Huh, okay.
so that's fun to make those.
Yeah, we can kind of tell you and I haven't been together
Comparisons.
much lately, so.
I know it.
But that's okay. We'll get back in the rhythm.
Okay. Huh. A human computer.
Probably, I'm going to say a savant that could do mathematical equations and stuff quickly.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
Oh, really?
Yeah, human computers were responsible for making calculations for scientific, research, and technology organizations. A human computer employed by the National Aeronautics and Space Administration might have used math to determine the number of rockets needed to make a plane airborne. And they performed these calculations on graph paper, and they could take up to a week.
Oh, wow.
Did you ever watch the movie about the 3 who were pretty much responsible for all of the mathematical
Hidden
figures?
figures. There you
Hidden
go.
figures.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh,
Yeah.
that was, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't watch it.
Oh,
but
you didn't?
They
I
were.
I listened to the book, And that was a little bit tough because it was a smart person's book.
Oh. Oh, no.
And then when they made it into a movie, they dummied it down
Yeah.
for those of us that didn't know what the hell
Yeah.
they were talking about. But it was good.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah. All of that was
They
done
were
before.
human. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And did you take calculus in high school?
You're so funny.
I know. But when you did that, because there weren't the calculators that there are
Yes.
now, in the back of the book, you would look up the approximation of different sine, cosine, and all that kind of
Yeah.
those numbers. Now with a calculator, it's taken out 18 places plus past the decimal, and back then it was 3 places. So,
Yeah.
Anyway,
Did you learn how to use a slide rule?
I don't believe
Or
I
was
ever
that
did.
Bigger than that was a big deal too.
It was.
and I don't know that they use those
Yeah,
anymore.
no.
Uh-uh.
Oh, I bet
Why
not.
would you? Yeah.
No.
Yep. Yeah, that
We'll
wouldn't have
find
been
out.
my job then nor now. Okay.
Doesn't matter if it's obsolete.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be a human computer,
I
huh?
would not.
Okay.
I would not. Not even close. Caddy Butcher. Caddy. Butcher.
They worked at the golf course and screwed up a golfer's scores.
Yeah, hey, that today I like that.
Okay.
Yeah, you butchered my game,
You did.
Caddy. Yeah. Caddy butchers specialized in processing and selling horse meat.
Oh,
Popular in both the United Kingdom and the United States until the 1940s. Horse meat was cheap then and considered an alternative to venison or beef.
I suppose.
Yeah.
Both of our faces are all scrunched up.
Yeah, yeah.
For those that can't see us, but it's still animal meat.
I know it is, and it was a lot of horses,
Yeah.
and
And they were usually grain fed, which
Right.
is a better form for cattle too
Yeah.
when they're grass fed or
And what else were they used for? If you had a huge herd of horses,
right. There were only so many that you needed to run a ranch or something.
Yeah.
So,
I'd
okay.
I don't
Caddy
know.
butcher.
caddy butcher.
Caddy
No,
butcher.
thanks. There's another one. Yep. How about a phrenologist? PHRENOLOGIST.
They helped you with your friends.
That would be a
Ology.
friendologist.
Oh, okay.
This is a phrenologist.
I got no clue on that one.
Okay.
No clue. Couldn't even come up with anything.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah. And the only reason that I recognize this one was there's this thing called phrenology right now where people read the bumps on your head.
Oh my God.
You're like
Really?
astrology, numerology, phrenology. So it has to do with your head.
Oh my gosh.
So phrenologists specialized in studying the human brain based on the size and shape of a person's head. Phrenologists believed the shape of people's heads correlated to their intelligence
Oh.
and used mechanical devices to prove their theories. Neuroscientists have since disproved
Oh, you think?
this pseudoscience. Yeah. Okay, Leslie, you would have had a whole different course of study
Oh yeah.
before the neuroscientist
That you are.
said that, yeah.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
'cause-
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So
okay.
people with little tiny heads have
little tiny brains?
I don't know. I can think of
You
one
would think-
person who has a big head and he
No.
has it.
Tiny brains.
So anyway,
Okay. So obviously that job is no longer
that's true.
here.
That's
okay.
true.
Good
Yes.
to know.
Oh, and at that time, people depended on that.
Yeah.
To them, that was a true science.
Oh,
Just
absolutely.
like neuroscience is
Yeah.
today. But
Yeah.
okay, this one, no idea. A bematist, BEMATIST.
They checked your BIMs.
Ooh, nice bim.
Ooh, look at your BIMs. Now pay me $20.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
What is it?
Okay, I'm not going to go there. In ancient Greece, bematists measured their steps to calculate distances.
Oh my gosh, that's really not out. Yes.
There's no correlation between the word and that to me.
Not
you
at
know, The
all.
other ones you can, maybe that works.
No, that one. Yeah.
Yeah, so they often published their calculations in books, which listed distances between well-known points and reports of empirical customs and natural findings. These positions became obsolete as mapping and measurement technology developed. Today, cartographers and geographic information systems measure distances and study spatial relationships. We still do this to a point.
Yes, we do.
When we were at Shelley's last couple weeks ago,
Uh-huh.
looking to see the size of her patio.
Yes. Oh,
her
that's
deck,
right. Yeah.
Her deck. And we didn't have any measuring things with us. And I guess we've always heard that your foot is almost the same size as a foot.
As a foot.
So you take that many steps, and if it's
Yeah.
18 steps across, it's
Then
about 18
feet. We
So-
did.
Yeah.
That's right.
So we've been bematists, and we had no idea that we
And you
were.
had no clue. Here's the other thing.
Uh-huh.
When you think about software like Map My Walk,
Yes.
isn't that by your steps?
It is. Yeah.
And that was a biggie with the smartwatches.
Yes.
There was another name. I can't think of the other brand. But anyway,
Yeah.
and it counted your steps. And then it
Right.
was, oh, you need to get 10,000 steps a day.
Yeah.
That was going back
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
that
So that kind of exists today, but in a different way.
in a different way.
Okay. A scissors grinder. This one's kind of out.
They sharpen them?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
A scissors grinder sharpened knives, scissors, and tools using an abrasive wheel.
Mm-hmm.
These individuals sometimes went door to door
Oh,
to
I'll be darned.
perform their service. The job disappeared by the 1970s. It lasted that long?
Oh. Because I
Yeah.
know of somebody that did that here in town.
Yeah.
And everybody take their scissors, their knives,
Right.
and everything else,
And they're farming
he'd sharpen
tools
everything, and yeah.
Okay, so most people found it cheaper and easier to purchase new tools instead of sharpening their old ones. And we've talked about how we're such a throwaway
Waste
society.
society.
Yep.
Yeah, that's too bad because there's a lot of good left on a knife
Yes.
if you just sharpen it right.
Yeah.
Oh,
And if you know how to do it at home, and like
Right.
it says, many shops and knife retailers offer sharpening services, but it's no longer considered a specific profession. But you can get those, they're
Yeah.
like files.
Yes, that stone kind of thing.
Yeah, so
Yes.
you can still sharpen your own
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
But it seems like when I tried, I'd always put the blade in wrong.
Yes, exactly. Or you stop halfway through, which
Yeah.
causes a little nick, and then you
Yes.
can't, it doesn't work at all.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so
There you go.
that's pretty good. Here's another one that we'll know, an ice cutter.
For the refrigerator, or for the ice boxes.
Yes.
That
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah. So before reliable freezing and refrigeration existed, ice cutters collected surface ice from rivers and lakes to sell. What do they do in the summertime? To
Oh,
cut,
I can tell you that.
okay.
Go ahead.
Oh, just to cut through the ice, they often used hand saws or horse-drawn devices. What they do in the summertime? Shan?
They dug really deep holes.
Yeah.
And they had a canvas in there. They'd put the ice down in it, and then they packed the top of it,
Oh.
like with hay or straw. They put it in their canvas,
Okay.
hay or straw, and that's what they used to try to keep it frozen.
Okay.
And then they would use from that for as long as they could.
Okay.
There you go.
Hey,
I
well,
know.
you're good.
I know.
You're
But
so
that's
smart.
why they were, ice boxes were really small,
Uh-huh.
and you just got what you needed for that day.
That's right.
And you didn't store things in your
Right.
refrigerator
Yes.
like we do now.
Yeah. Yeah. Grocery shopping. What do you want for lunch? What do you want
Yeah.
for dinner? Done. I have
Exactly.
to go again.
Leftovers and all those kind of
Yeah.
things. Yeah.
I wonder if they had many leftovers. I bet they ate
Every bit of it,
everything they
I'm
had.
sure they did.
Yeah. Yeah.
I bet they did.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Huh. Okay. Okay, here's one that, to a certain extent, I would like to do.
Oh, okay.
A food taster. So,
Not to be confused with the food critic.
oh, now that's better. Because
Yeah.
this one involves poison.
Oh, no thanks.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll be a food critic.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
oh, no. Really?
Uh-huh.
What?
So a food taster was responsible for tasting food prepared for an important figure
Oh.
to ensure it was poison-free.
Oh, my gosh.
They generally tested food served to public figures who may be at risk, such as a member of a royal family. Today's food industry employs tasters to review foods for quality. Now that I could do.
We could do that.
but it's a vastly different position than it was in ancient times.
Oh my
I
gosh.
wonder how many food tasters they went through in a year.
I don't know, but I think these people should have been paid a lot of money
I think so,
because
too.
they may not make it through a dinner.
Yeah.
I'll be darned.
And then you wonder, too,
Like
we're
how
talking
quickly.
way back when, how we talk about getting food poisoning today. But
Right.
it's not because somebody added poison to the food.
True.
It's because it's gone bad.
True.
And when you think about when this was happening, the times that this was happening, how could food not go bad? Because this was before ice boxes and refrigerations
true.
and all of that.
And I'm curious, so if the person, obviously, if they fell over dead,
Yeah.
don't eat it.
Yeah.
But what if it was a little bit delayed and they didn't get sick until an hour later?
That's
I
right.
mean,
Then would they kill them? Because
you did a bad job. You didn't die, so now you're going to
now
die.
you're going to die. Yeah, I
Jeez.
guess so.
Not needed. Okay.
Oh, okay. A Billy Boy.
A Billy Boy.
This is another one.
I'm going to throw just this wild guess it had something to do with goats.
Oh, I wish. Yeah, but no. A Billy Boy was a young person tasked with making tea for people working at railway yards, blacksmiths, and building sites. During break times, a Billy Boy, who employers generally considered an apprentice, might make tea by lighting a fire and boiling water in lightweight cooking pots called billy cans
Oh, I'll be darned.
to make tea. So it's like the water cooler, I guess. But it was tea.
It's a Billy Boy water cooler.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll be darned.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, my.
And so but an apprentice, so they were probably working on site, but then they would go and make the tea for the break.
Yes, that could be. Yes. Okay. We've talked about this before. A pin setter.
Oh, yeah, because Grandpa Mitten
Yeah.
was a pin setter at the,
That's right.
He
That's right.
set them all up by hand,
Yeah.
and it just, had a little ledge back there,
Uh-huh.
and he'd sit up there,
Yeah.
hit the pins, pull his feet up, move down to the next one. Yeah.
But can you imagine if it was like a tournament or something?
Oh,
I'm sure
geez.
you had more than one pin
setter, true.
to take care of
Yeah.
the different lanes.
Yeah,
but-
you probably just did.
Yep,
You had
they
a
waited
few.
at the end of the lanes and reset the pins as they were knocked down. Okay, that
Yeah.
was an easy one.
Yeah.
Okay, herb strewer, HERBSTREWER, an herb strewer.
They either grew them or
Uh-huh.
they steeped them in tea.
Okay, for
No.
the Billy Boy to serve later.
Yes, exactly
okay.
right.
Yep. No, this is another one. In the 16th and 17th centuries, an herb strewer placed fresh herbs inside and around a castle or palace to reduce odors.
Oh my gosh.
The job became unnecessary when perfumes were invented and plumbing and sewage systems became more advanced.
Oh my gosh.
And can you imagine? You look at those times in history, and the clothing they wore was so regal but they didn't bathe for
Ever.
months.
Yeah.
And so all of their undergarments were just disgustingly
Yeah.
and yeah.
And just the sewage, because there wasn't
Yes.
a way for that to be taken
Right.
away from a castle or
Right.
away from a building.
Yeah. So that stench.
I don't know how many herbs you're going to plant to try to get rid of that kind of a smell, but
Oh. And then even perfumes.
it just masks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just so it's just that smell upon smell and
Ugh.
And
Strewer. Okay.
I don't know if we're as a people right now, we're more sensitive to smells like that. When we were teaching, and that became a thing. Teachers were not allowed, and I understand, to wear like perfumes and things
Oh,
like that.
yes.
Because a lot of kids were very allergic.
Yes. True.
So we quit wearing all those, but then when somebody else would wear a lot of it, it was
Oh,
my
it was too
God.
much.
Yeah.
Even today, that's
Yeah.
I thought you were going to go with that avenue of the child who didn't bathe very often,
Yes.
and then they came into the classroom.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, and that
Or-
there was a couple individuals at the high school
Uh-huh.
that could talk to those students.
Yeah.
I don't know if they had if it was a knack or if we just didn't want to have talked to that student about
Yeah.
bathing, washing your hair, and washing your clothes and all that
wearing
kind of stuff.
deodorant, because
Yeah,
you don't want to embarrass them.
you don't.
If
So-
they don't have the access to do.
Which is huge.
to
That's
do the
a huge
things.
thing,
Yeah.
especially
yeah.
laundry. And I know a lot of high schools now, they have
Yes.
shower facilities, washer dryers for
Yep.
people
Yep.
students to be able to come in and use.
Yeah. And then there's just the whole middle school boy population that.
Nothing worse
Oh, gee.
than a classroom with a bunch of boys that just got done with PE.
PE.
Oh,
the
God.
worst.
It is.
And I don't know how they don't smell themselves.
I
or
know
each
it.
other.
I agree. Ugh.
Okay, toad doctor.
A toad doctor.
Toad.
So
like a frog.
toads must have been very much needed, and this doctor took care of the toads.
Not even close.
Oh.
Okay. Toad doctors were care providers who used toads to treat medical ailments.
Oh.
Beginning in the 1600s, medical researchers and doctors believed that toads had healing properties.
Oh, I'll be darned.
And they began to use toads in the practice of medicine. They used dried, powdered toads
Ooh.
to soothe inflammation and relieve headaches and skin conditions.
Ooh. Okay.
There you go, Shelley. Shelley has trouble with migraines.
She does.
I think she needs some dried, powdered toad.
Toad.
And give that
Needs some toad.
that a try.
Yeah. Remember when it used to be a myth that if you touched a toad, you would
Yes,
get a wart?
Warts. Yes. Apparently they figured that out.
That one out.
That wasn't
Oh, my
true. It
gosh, really?
might cure
Ugh.
warts, but it wouldn't.
Yeah. Cause
Okay.
them.
How about a dry salter?
A dry salter. They are the ones that scooped up the muddy salt and dried it and processed it. Like Morton's salt.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it was one of those herbs they spread around the castles. Yeah. No. Again, not even close. In the United Kingdom, in the 1700s, dry salters were salespeople who provided chemical products such as dry chemicals and dyes used in salted, tinned, and dried foods or edible oils.
Really?
Some dry salters also traded potash,
Okay.
logwood, flax, and hemp.
Okay.
So, I don't know. Because they had to dry their meat quite a bit.
Oh, gotcha.
You salt it until it just dries up
Exactly.
into nothing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I guess that's what
Beef
what
jerky.
the dry salt. Oh, yeah. Ooh,
Ooh.
that sounds good.
I don't
haven't
have
had
any.
for a while. Darn.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That's because when we eat something that salty,
Yes.
we go, oh, man. And we are thirsty for 2 days
That's
after.
right. Yeah. I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I was teaching in the country schools, it was like you didn't actually schedule hunting days,
No.
but the kids usually just took them.
Opening day.
Opening day.
They're gone.
Yes. But their families made the best deer jerky.
Yes, they do.
And I would
Yeah.
always say, okay, you can go ahead and take the day off if you bring some deer jerky. Yes. Yes.
That and eggs. I don't know if you ever got eggs when you taught at country school.
I can't remember if I did because
Yeah.
I was always in cattle country.
Yeah, that was one thing I seemed to get a lot when I was an aide
Yeah.
at one of the country schools. Eggs.
Huh.
There you go.
I don't think I did.
Okay.
I'd rather have deer jerky anyway.
Oh,
so-
absolutely. I would
Yeah.
too.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I think we've still got more on that list, so we can come back
Watch
to it
out,
again
everybody.
if
We may be
need
back.
to. Yes, so hopefully you learned a little bit. I think I did.
Yes.
And that some of these jobs they're just not necessary anymore. Hopefully your home isn't stinky that you have to have somebody spreading herbs around
all over.
to take care of the smell. But
Yes. Or you're buying your salt from a salt whatever.
dry salter.
A dry salter
Yeah.
to make deer jerky.
Yeah, that's
There you
right.
go. Okay.
That's right.
There you go.
I know you can't say that we are not educational from
We are
time to
so
time.
educational.
So
That's it, huh?
It.
I have no takeaway for that. I really don't. Except for it's nice to have you back in town.
thank you. It's so good to be here. So nice to be back. And the amount I have slept since I got back.
You really have.
Today's the first day that I haven't felt fuzzy-headed. So,
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's part of getting older, too.
I think it is.
Do you remember when we were in college, we would stay up
Oh,
studying
gosh, yeah.
for 2 or 3 nights.
Okay, you studied. I didn't do that, but I was up all night.
Yeah, you were doing other things.
Other things.
I
And
was-
man, I learned a lot of card games my freshman year.
Yes, yep. But mine was usually studying because I had put off
Yes, true.
every single paper and
Yes.
project until the week
end
before it
was-
done. That
yeah.
class was done.
The worst time
Yeah.
to do that was in the spring
Yes.
because all those
Oh,
people
yeah.
who did everything as it was assigned to them, they headed to the pits so they could sunbathe and swim and
Yes.
and I'm stuck in my room.
Yep.
Do not procrastinate.
That's right.
Students of America.
That's right.
Get it done now.
See, advice, education, we're all over this.
We are? There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we can't even tell Sean what we're having for dinner because
Because I don't have a
go
plan.
have something.
Yeah, well, I think we're just going to go drive through somewhere and
That's
get
fine
some supper.
with me. That sounds really good.
That's it.
Now we have to figure out where we want
I
to
know.
drive through.
I
Yeah.
know.
Okay, do your thing.
Oh, do my thing. Yeah, you're right. Okay. Yes, we upload to Podbean. That is our platform, so you can find us there. You can find us on so many podcast apps: Apple Podcast, Podbean, Podcast Addict, Spotify, YouTube. Just type in Unavoidable Adventures in Aging, and we will jump right in front of you. And always remember to like.
Don't run us over.
As soon as I said that, I thought, okay, the vision of you and I jumping is
just-
not a
yeah.
good.
Just
oh,
right there. Jumping?
Jumping?
No.
I don't think so. Don't forget, subscribe, follow, and share us with your friends, family, neighbors, and everything else. If you want to get a hold of us, you can send us an email at unavoidableaging@gmail.com. And we have a website which is going to become better,
Yes.
much better.
Yeah.
Unavoidable.life.
Yes. That made me think of something. I can't remember what it was. So never mind.
Okay.
Okay, until we talked with you again, enjoy your life. Laugh at yourself if you remember what I was going to say.
Say.
Let me know.
Yeah.
And remember,
You're not knucking futz. You're just aging.
Very good.
Goodbye,
So
and we got to
got
record
that.
again tomorrow because
That's
we're a little
right,
behind
because
on
I've
life.
been gone.
Yeah.
But I think we're going to get back into our groove again.
I think so.
I'm looking forward to
Okay,
that.
I think we can do it.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.